Today I'm going to make a name for what I call naming all my days and making videos for them as Scorpio training. And it's just like this, like the mythological involvement of going from the gray lizard all the way up to rising to become a phoenix. And it's like this progressive march out of your mind. Nothing in this universe matches the opportunity to be a Scorpio. I have this energy, I just need to organize it. Scorpio can figure it all out. He needs maturity and mastery to handle his intensity. I've inherited Grandma's pen, which I'll explain that. My grandma had a way of keeping everything in order in the family. And since she died, I've sort of learned how to handle that energy, that I sort of inherited Grandma's pen, I think. I accept it and understand my position and all the people I'm responsible for. I like to write things out just to see it. I've been called to make heads or tails of what caused many to sink as appropriate for the time. I'm being led into being entrusted with greater, higher waves. Waves are like the thought waves that flow across the universe, and you gotta somehow ride those waves with my surfboard. With greater and higher waves, I have many surfboards, and I have read page 40, which it said, the morning hour has gold in its mouth. And I started writing down some of my most influential days along the path, each one some of my favorite days. I couldn't come up with 20, but I like Only Windows, Today Changed Forever, You Have to Learn Your Way Around the Chicken, Pluto Up Uranus, which was at work, Enigma Nonsense, which was at work, 343 God Doth Shut the Lion's Mouth, 355 100% Bull Milk, where Donald told the story about the monkeys. And these are the days that remember from me. 373, the day I just called day, and I wrote that song, Waning Pisces Moon. 376, Cold Duck, Under the Aries Moon. 381, Cat Me If You Can. 402, Scorpio Storm. 424, I Used to Love Her, which was a really neat day. And 434 is where I found out what's on page 40, basically how to call people's bluffs. And 440 was last night, which I called The Secret to the Universe. I made that video, which I really wanted to make. So this is all Scorpio training. Okay, we're living Monday awake, but that's not going to be today's name. I was doing groceries in the back, and it's like when you slam your hand in the door, you go, ouch! Or something to that extent. And I needed a new catchphrase for that. So, chocolate-covered creamy biscuit sticks. So let's hear. You can use your imagination. Chocolate-covered creamy biscuit sticks. And that's today's name. Alright, now you're recording. Chocolate-covered creamy biscuit sticks. Today was the 4th of July, and there were a lot of fireworks all around. Izzy, tell what Gabby did today.
She apparently burnt her fingers or her hand or something, lighting fireworks.
Yeah, and you said don't mess with fire, because when you mess with fire, you get burned. So today, while I was at work, I didn't really know what was all going on. It'll probably catch up with me when I get home. And I'm gonna say all this to put it on the computer. If anybody wants me to take it off, we can say that. That once my grandma died, and her house was split by her two boys, it became apparent to me that there was something deep-seated between the family, even if, like, I wouldn't be born. And I didn't like that. And you see it with just about everybody who has someone who dies, it becomes all about the stuff. Everybody takes ownership of what's not really theirs just because it's been inherited to them, and it causes all this squabbling because everybody has to be in close quarters with each other. And it really just broke out from there. And for a long time, they weren't talking to each other. And just a couple weeks ago, with the camera, everybody's always saying, "I'll put that camera away." Well, it got me in trouble. Like, sort of, as I've always gotten in trouble for the same kinds of things over the years. It's just, you know, it's not ever learning from it. It's learning how to be less in the way while still getting done what I want done. So I was upset with my uncle, and so I was about to go up and be with them at my grandma's house, my dad and my uncle, and my mom said, "I just made some fish, so sit down here." And she said, "I think they're crazy up there," because she's always wanted to start a fight with them. And you know, I don't like immaturity when it comes to dealing with, you know, the death of someone and how to cycle all this through. But they really thought they could get this whole thing done without the families crossing into each other. And I was not really responsible for what's going on. I did tell my mom, and my mom, she'll fight you tooth and nail for what she doesn't know. So she likes to drink, and when she gets on her drunken spells, look out. So I told her basically I had a fight with my uncle, and she loved that. She just wanted to rip into him any angle she can get, and that's what it's all about. People are waiting for the angles to get what they want, and it really, you know, all the people who ended up in the will, if she would have knew how this would play out, I don't think it would have turned out the same way. So it has to do with not owning up to your problems, not forgiving, and it's like the John Lennon song, "Instant Karma Gonna Get You." So my mom sort of used her telephone as a weapon, and also her beer, and called down today to their house. And I'm getting these text messages from my aunt that I'm not quite sure what's going on yet, and I'm just getting in small pieces at a time. And apparently I'm a bad guy for telling mom that I had a fight. But like, I communicate to people. I tell people what goes on and stuff, and a lot of people don't like that. They like to stay, you know, boxed up in their own. But it's really instant karma from the very beginning that I knew something like this would play out. Today is day 441, and I knew that at the turn of day 400, I went out to the store and got this notebook of the 100-day explosion. It wasn't really an idea that I consciously came up with. It seemed like an idea that was just there, that the next 100 days are going to be so explosive in my life and the patterns that I follow. So we'll see what happens when I get home. Chocolate covered something, beef sticks or something like that. Alright, you can turn it off.